2,747 hours. As of writing this, I currently have 2,747 hours in Team Fortress 2, which is not the most impressive number of hours that one could ever have, but damn, that sure is a whole lot. In all of my hours of playing and consuming media of this game, I have come across all kinds of guns in this game. Good guns, bad guns, meta guns, wacky guns, hell, even reskins of some guns. I come by so many on a day-to-day basis when playing this game, it's obscene. However, there's just one gun that I have never seen ever. Never talked about, never used, and never heard of. Not because it's a bad weapon, but, well... The hana is TF2's most forgotten weapon by a long shot. I've heard countless of videos and discussions of other forgotten weapons, but never about this one. I doubt that the hana would have ever been the first thought to cross your mind, but if it was, then, well, you deserve a cookie. Here you go to the two that guessed correctly. Added back on June 23rd, 2011 as part of the Uber update, it came with the Bizarre Bargain and the Desert Marauder in the Lawrence of Australia set. Ever since then, this weapon has never gotten a single buff or nerf to its existence, with a record of 4 changes to the weapon. All it did was add attributes like adding a strange variety and making it able to be festivized. This melee weapon for sniper has the following stats listed underneath it. A plus 25% increase in damage when health is below half. However, it has a 25% decrease in damage when the health is over 50. And that's it. Nothing else. No hidden stats at all. It's so simple I had a hard time to find much to write about it. This is the most bare bones of a risk versus reward type weapons to use. Kinda sounds like the equalizer for soldier, but with less risk, and you get the bonus as soon as you have below 50 health, as opposed to getting it the lower the health you go. Most players have either overlooked this to use conventionally better melees and stock and its reskins, or use this once and never again. Now it's come to the question of why this weapon is never talked about. And the answer for that is, I don't know. I simply just don't know. But I will give some personal theories why I believe so. Number 1, it has never gotten a single change. As I said before, the hana has never gotten a single change ever, which some weapons like stock are on the same boat, but this is an unlock you get. Other unlocks who have not changed since released, like the 3rd degree, are better recognized because of their stats. The 3rd degree is better known due to the fact that it's the only other weapon in the game that is the only direct upgrade. Other weapons get recognized because of their changes, like the Righteous Bison. Before its notorious updates, it was mostly unused until it started becoming a joke weapon until it got changed completely. And because of this, it skyrocketed the weapon's popularity tenfold. But back onto the topic of the hana, it has never changed ever. Like no buffs, no nerfs, nothing like that. With no changes, most just don't give a single crap about it, especially with newer players, which leads to my next point. It's mildly confusing for new players. I can remember one time when I first unlocked the hana, I checked and looked at the weapon stats and completely failed to understand it. Granted, I was 13 or something when I first got it, but it still goes to show how people don't understand it. Many people upon their first glance fail to understand it, especially when those people are new players. And when they try it anyways, they find out it's not as good as a stock, then why bother?
Not dogger.
Plus, if a new player does not have any inspirations or see anyone uses this weapon, then, like, come on. Which leads to the next point, that there are way better choices than the hana, really. Do I even have to explain this at all? There are 3 other basic options that the sniper can go with, and each having its own ups and downs. Those being the Kukuri and its many reskins, the Tribal Shiv, and the Bushwaka. The Kukuri is a good and basic backup when you run out of many other options. Plus, who wouldn't want to turn down killing people with a pan or a piece of ham? My personal favorite being the Sign. The Shiv, while not being as good as the other choices, still has the benefits of why I can see many people using it. Bleed is somewhat useful at times, like going after an invisible spy, or killing someone from beyond the grave. And lastly, debatably the best choice out of all of them, the Bushwaka. This melee pairs the best with Durati as it turns any mini crit to a full-blown crit, and many use it for this reason exactly. And when these melees are compared to the Shahancha, it's somewhat of a simple choice for why mostly everyone chooses it. These theories alone does not mean that the Shahancha is bad by any means, and you can find it useful at sometimes, but this weapon just goes to show that people don't really care much about this weapon, and it goes to show how this weapon is the most forgotten TF2 weapon in existence. At the time of writing this, there are only 7 videos about this weapon, with most of them being years old. The reason why I was reminded of this weapon was for the sheer fact that I recently unlocked it again. And just like the many countless of hours before this point when I first got it, I just might have to pick this melee up again, and suggest for you all to do the same. Thank you all for listening to this and watching this all the way through. I know this video is very different from what I usually make, but I wanted to try something new and try something like this style for once, and even shed light about this unconventional weapon. If you like this and want to see more, please like and subscribe, and hell, even share with a friend if you really liked it. It would help out a ton. Thank you.